let's do some ladder. Today we're going to be playing some BR deck and some Buggy Scorpion Shade. I'm going to start with GDI as is my want. I'd like to start with GDI because it gets out of the way. Don't really enjoy playing GDI, so I like to sort of do GDI as quickly as possible and then move on with life. Can play some Nod instead. Hope they'll buff Banshee someday. So you also think Banshee is not good, or why would you suggest to me a unit that you think should be buffed? I do remember that mud pusher. Nukin didn't tell anyone that it was best of one in the early round.
Three, two, one.
Alright, we're gonna Draken. No idea what Draken plays. I see an Oksana, so it's probably Chuggy. Could also be Inferno. But that doesn't really narrow it down, because that's kind of the decks that everyone plays, is Inferno or Chuggy. Or both. Or Giga Chuggy, or Mutant Chuggy. It's almost certainly going to be Chuggy though. Could also just be like Artillery. I mean, you really can't tell anything from Oksana. There's too many Oksana decks at the moment. I guess we know it's not like a standard tank deck, but those are not that popular right now, so you know, you wouldn't really expect to play against one of them anyway. This very much looks like a Chuggy deck to me. Obviously if he makes a Chuggy, no surprises there. We really want a Predator. We really don't want to lose these shots because they cost too much. Can't just let them go, that would be really bad. So, we're gonna get the Predator on top of the shots. We're gonna try and kill the Chuggy with the Predator. I got one hit. Two. Crocs is still alive, just about. Didn't get the block for some reason. I really feel like I moved in sooner than he did, but apparently he didn't get the block. And okay, he doesn't get the block either. Although Pitbull is not going to be enough. This is the problem. Pitbull won't shut down the Chuggy. Yeah, you can see the lasers just kill the Pitbull way faster than the Pitbull can kill the Chuggy. This is kind of why you have the Predator. We need a second Pitbull to come in and clean that up. He's boosted like every single unit he's brought down here. This is like actually the third boost of units that he's brought down here. Which just goes to show as well like how much more efficient his combo is. Like he is able to spend 90 on boosts on top of what is happening here. I think I spent 60 on boosts. He's able to spend an additional 30. Although it looks like it might have been a misplay because he didn't have another Chuggy come down and that's what he needed. So maybe he ran out of money because of all the boosts and then couldn't make Chuggy. Anyway, we suspect there's going to be more Chuggy, so we're going to get the Predator rolling in. Actually, a little surprised at how quickly that last Predator went down. It only had like bikes on it. Maybe laser for a little bit, but not that long. So I was a little surprised at how quickly the Predator went dead. So it is Chuggy Inferno. Not overly surprising. We will just go straight into Hammerheads.
Target zone confirmed.
We're going to be pretty defensive with this Hammerhead, just use it to hold back the Inferno. Not going to go crazy with it. Oh, that's a stealth rank, that's not good. Inferno dies in 3 hits, so I knew the Inferno was going to die to that Hammerhead shot. Which wins us the game. Feels good, man.
Enemy base destroyed. Control. 3, 2, 1.
Don't know what this guy's playing, but again, not Oksana, probably some kind of Chuggy deck.
Building online. Unit ready.
Riflemen ready to move out.
Yeah, Mixer, there were Amazon Web Service issues. That's what the problem was. There was nothing to do with EA or Rivals. There was an outage on Amazon server, and Rivals runs off the Amazon servers.
Unit ready.
Stick together.
He just walked into my rifles, yeah, he swiftly changed his mind on that one.
Rifle, move out.
So if he has Flamers, it's less likely that he's going to have Chuggy, because they're both tier 2 anti-infantry. It'd be really weird to have both of those in your deck. It doesn't make it 100% not, but it's definitely unusual to have both of those units in the same deck. We're gonna win this because we're on defense. We have no reason to walk into the other one. I also think that +1 actually makes a huge difference in this matchup. Like, I think being +1 means we're heavily favored in the Shock Flamer War. Okay, here's that second Harvester as well, so we're definitely gonna win the missile. Not really sure what to do now. Can't really pressure the halves. Definitely need to keep charging, but I'm guessing he's gonna make like a flame tank or an artillery. Get a predator. I don't really have anything in this deck that can beat an artillery. Flame tank is fine. I have tanks, but artillery could be a real issue. I'm clearly just saving up for whatever his tech unit is. I'm guessing it's going to be... Oh, that's just Infernos. Okay, well, we got Hammerheads, so that's actually fine. Yeah, I can boost what you want, mate. You're going to get one shot off either way. We actually got one additional missile. What a beating. Alright, well, this game appears to be over. Okay, well, I mean, I feel like there's a valuable lesson to be learnt here. And the lesson is you should have level 15 flamers. Otherwise you lose the 15 shots.
Bounty complete. 3, 2, 1. New objective
We're against
received.
pizza.
Building online.
I wonder what kind of pizza is.
Unit
This
ready.
feels like the kind of information we need to retrieve. Does anyone know pizza? Can someone ask him what kind of pizza he is? I feel like I need to know.
Unit ready.
We're against GDI. We're against Solomon, but opening rifles, which is unusual. Solomon decks that open rifles are usually tech, but this guy seems to be charging pretty aggressively, so that seems unlikely. Alan, interesting. Not even drone form.
Building online.
Very unusual start in this game.
Pitbull ready to race. Double time. Pitbull here, what up? Open fire.
The mobile, okay. We're gonna have to get missiles for that until we can afford something more impactful like a hammerhead. Could just do like double Pitbull against it, but I think the missiles are probably the way to go. He has his own shots. Very weird that he went Talon then. Well, he's obviously gonna beat my shots.
Unit lost.
But that's fine, because our missiles take out. Why isn't he... He should probably be getting a little bit more aggressive with his shots there.
Missile
Yeah,
launched.
he kind of should have... Like, I mean, the shots don't die to the Pitbull, and you can get them on the pad against the missiles. That seems like what he wanted to do.
Unit ready.
Keep making Pitbulls. I need some more shots soon. This backpad rifleman is not very good either. You better have like a missile trooper or something there in case he sends a Talon over.
Unit lost.
Oop. Oh, that's a lot of distance. I'm trying to pull my Pitbull back, not my rifleman.
Unit
Bring these
lost.
missiles up, make some
Unit
more.
ready. Unit lost.
Bring shots down, probably going to need to boost these shots. To fight his shots.
Enhanced. Unit lost.
I want some additional shots. I don't actually know if we're going to kill this Mohawk in time. I think because he pulled back, and there was a period of time when he wasn't on this pad, it bought us enough time. He's also not killing the shock trooper that's on the pad, he's killing the one off to the side. Which makes sense because it's like more hit points, but he needed to stall the missile, so actually he needed to kill one on the pad to reduce time until
Mission
missile fired.
accomplished. Three, 2, 1. New objective available.
Neo 2. Hey look, we're not on one of the 2-pad maps. Feels good, man.
Harvester ready.
Oh, this is a dog Solomon,
Riflemen awaiting orders. Unit ready. Reporting.
which indicates it's going to be a heavily aggressive Solomon deck.
Riflemen under heavy fire.
To be fair, Pizza's deck was pretty aggro as well. Wasn't a dog opener.
This is gonna you got missions on the move.
Unit
I really hate being barracks against dogs. You either have to massively overcommit on missiles, or you just lose basically. Like they beat all the barrack stuff unless you really heavily overcommit. At which point you get punished by the tech switch.
Unit ready.
Although because we don't have to switch into our anti-infantry, this rifleman switch is not as good as it would be against a lot of decks. Like I don't have to tech switch to counter rifleman because I already have shock troopers in the barracks. Alright, so it's drones, drone dog, rifle Solomon. Pitbull looks very much like a Reb Solomon. Don't see Reb Solomon very often these days. I don't actually think it's ever been that good a deck, to be honest. I was never a huge fan of it.
Unit lost.
It's definitely fallen out of favor lately with jump jet nerf. Like jump jets are a key part of the deck. It really was just a spam jump jets and drones type deck.
Unit lost.
So with the jump jet nerf, the deck lost a lot of its power. And speaking of, here are the jump jets.
Unit lost.
What's happening now? Opponent maybe saving for an iron cannon, or they've just given up. I'll spread my units out in case it's an iron cannon. Looks like just giving up, to be honest. Oh, they're saving for an iron cannon. Oh, that's gotta feel bad, man. That's gotta feel bad.
Launched. Enemy base destroyed. Three, two, one. New objective received.
Paffy G for last game.
Building
Playing
online.
Solomon as well. I almost went missile start because I feel like he's very likely to open dogs, but then I thought, no, it's Paflagon. He's going to be playing Talon Orca, like rifle missile Talon Orca. I think he plays Pitbull and Shatterer right now. We'll never understand the Shatterer. Shatterer is just not good. But he basically just plays Talon Orca. Like the Shatterer is not even that relevant. He'll play Talon Orca and then he'll make like Pitbulls when I start making Pitbulls, basically.
Unit lost.
That's how this game is very likely to go down.
Unit ready.
The thing about playing as Paflagon, it's really important not to ever really get to more than 2 riflemen. Because he's going to switch into air and then the riflemen are going to be a massive liability. So I never want to have a 3rd rifleman on the field. In fact, I'm even okay with this guy going down and just having like 1. But I need the same number that he has, basically. But he'll do this, he'll suicide 1 in, so that he only has 1 rifleman, and then he'll just make a bunch of air units. And then I'll have these like 2 riflemen that are a liability. That's usually how it goes.
Unit ready.
Pitbull.
Warning. Enemy ion cannon activated. Unit
First
lost.
missile iron cannon to kill a single Pitbull. You gotta wonder what's going on there.
Unit ready.
That's a weird play if ever I've seen one. Get the shots in and then we can run the Pitbull away.
Unit lost.
Actually just gonna make more Pitbulls.
Unit in hand. Warhead cancelled.
Oof. Oof. Unlucky, mate.
Launched.
Not the usual Paflagon right here. Definitely some loose plays. I wouldn't normally see Paflagon make an error like that. Probably just a mistake. Paflagon actually can never beat this deck. This deck is like a hard counter for Paflagon, because once you get Shocks and Hammerhead, he has basically no outs. I guess now that he has Shatterer, he has some outs. He used to play like the double tech, and then that would actually just lose, because he would lose the game before his tech came out. So Shock plus Hammerhead was just GG. Now he's playing some War Factory instead. Oh no, he's back on the Titan. Interesting. Well, that's actually... that's a little scary. I guess we're getting some missile troops. Well, a classic outcome for a tech unit. Oh, I see you were trying to do something, Mr. Titan. It's a shame the game is over. He iron cannon this game as well, so that Titan could have been a lot sooner if he hadn't spent 130 on an iron cannon. Alright, so now we're going to play some Buggy. This deck's a little wonky. I think it probably is weak to mutant. That would be my guess. Okay. This is the second time someone has done this to me in like 2 days.
Laser squad, ready for anything. We're ready to serve. Laser squad.
The Bandito Rush is what it was called back in the day. There was a guy called Bandito who played ages ago, and he was like, yeah, you send your harvesters there, Siberium, and they're so distracted by trying to kill your harvester that you win the first missile. That's how obsessed people are with killing harvesters. That he actually used to win missiles by just sending his harvester at their Tiberium, and they would focus on it and ignore the missile. I don't actually think that's what's happening. Obviously, like, I'm pretty sure Lemos is just conceding. This is his way of conceding. Maybe it's to let me finish bounties or something? I don't know. Well, I mean, I got bounties to finish, so I guess we can Seth and Buggy. You can't even just go kill the base when people do this, because, like, he does still have 2 harvesters. So, if I just completely ignore them, he might just make some tech units or something. Yeah, there's a Banshee and a Chuggy. This is the weirdest game of Rivals. What do I have for anti-air? I have a Phantom, right? Yeah, he has Mutant. That's what my deck is really weak to. Alright, well there we go. High quality game right there.
Unit ready. Mission accomplished. 3, 2, 1. New objective available.
So this guy was playing the Flamer Inferno. I played against him on GDI.
Unit ready.
So we're gonna want Phantoms. Did he have Wheel last time? He opened Laser, right? He opened like Laser Flame last time, so maybe he had Wheel and we just didn't see it.
We're ready to serve. What's needed? Laser squad.
Unit ready.
Red militia here. Destroy the laser squad. Ready for anything.
A lot of wheels.
Lasers chop. His wheel all taking. What's no stopping? Lasers move.
Why don't I have bikes, do I? Have to make buggy. Kind of unfortunate. Maybe I should just save for a tank.
Hit them with what's needed. Attack. We're ready to get if you say so. Hero. Alright, let's go there. Big buggy. Militia. Unbelievable. Lasers taking. Lasers for
Doesn't looking great, I'll be honest. We're a little bit heavily pop capped.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit offline. Unit offline.
Well, this tank, hopefully, actually there's no way this tank's going to be in time. There's a buggy, yeah, he didn't pop the buggy, so we buy ourselves some time here. This laser troop is a misclick. That should be something that can kill the flamers.
Unit offline.
Oh, he's playing Giga now. Okay, that's not good for me. That is definitely bad for me. I suspect this thing will take out, you know, my tank before I can do anything about it. Ah, Giga Cannon. Well, we're going to need Shade for that. Obviously our deck is pretty weak to Giga Cannon until we get Shade out. I don't know why Shade's in the deck though.
Lurking in the shade. Come on. Awaiting orders.
We actually don't really have a way to beat lasers with a Giga Cannon behind because you can't use Buggy or Militant on that. So we might actually just be super weak to this deck. Yeah, he's just gonna mass lasers. I don't have anything that can really break it because of the Giga Cannon. Two militants could not kill a laser before Giga Cannon killed them.
Missile cancel. Unit offline. Unit ready.
Okay, we won that missile, but I feel like we just played way better than our opponents to win it, honestly.
Unit offline.
Like, we had to debate him into going in different directions so we could get at the Giga Cannon.
Unit offline.
Awaiting orders.
Unit offline.
The Brotherhood is rising.
I actually think Shade is like super important. Oh, sorry, Seth won us that missile, really. More than anything else.
Unit offline.
Taking position.
Just a class Scorpion awaiting orders. Scorpion Shade. Scorpion Roach.
Unit offline.
All ready to strike. Lurking Scorpion tank on them. Scorpion tank reporting.
Unit ready.
Engaging thrusters.
I'm gonna use the Shade as support in the Flamer Mirror,
Advancing.
so I make sure I win it. Alright, nice, kick it down. They're doing work. Swap these two around. I don't actually need the Harvester anymore because I have 300 Vivarium. So we can use it as a pad holder.
Unit ready.
Alright, here we got him. Now, I don't like to toot my own trumpet, but I do think that that game was played exceptionally well. Also, he had level 14 claims, right, which helps.
Objective complete. Bounty. 3, 2, 1. New mission received.
I think for the middle oasis, I'm gonna go Rifleman first, although I'm not really that worried about a GDI rush.
Harvester ready.
Destroy the GDI.
Dog opening, that's annoying.
Ready to serve. What's needed? Militia
Dog opening really sucks for me because it's really good against barracks, and I don't even have fights to go into quickly. Like, my only option is to try and fight it with the barracks.
stock of glorious death.
So I think we're gonna have to overcommit heavily on lasers. And then we'll get punished by a tech switch.
Lasers, laser squad, ready for anything. Let's go. Look them up. Taking fire. Laser squad. Destroy the GD. Lasers charged. Kill them all.
Unit offline.
Taking position. Militia here. Lasers hit them with precision.
Unit offline.
Could just go for a tank, but we're not really exactly close to a tank, are we? Also, if I go tank and he switches in something like Orca, that's really bad. Ooh.
Unit
Sniper.
offline. Building online.
I don't have a great answer for Sniper either. I mean, I have Scorpion Tank in my deck, which is one of the best units in the game against Sniper decks. Whoa, second Sniper? That has to be a misclick. It makes no sense to make a second Sniper.
Scorpion red. Scorpion tank as he
Unit ready.
We will not
Yeah, I mean, he's even letting it go, so it seems like he's not super invested in that Sniper.
in the tail. Errand is near. Lost in the tail. We will not yield.
Friends.
Unit offline.
I mistook my Scorpion quite badly there. Took a bunch of hits it shouldn't have. We're gonna get the first missile pretty easily though. The Wrens are never gonna get there in time.
Missile launched. Unit offline.
Scorpion ready to hunt.
We'll hit them with his will moves with us. Make cocaine.
Scorpion ready. We will not yield.
Alright, we're gonna try and put pressure on
Not yield.
and try and get this Harvester.
Laser squad.
Because everyone knows that's how you win the game.
Let's see if this errand is near. We will errand.
Surprised he didn't make another Grenadier, honestly.
Ready to hunt.
Maybe he can't afford it because they're ridiculously overpriced.
Unit offline.
I guess rifles for the Grens?
Advancing. Scorpion to Scorpion.
Unit offline.
And then we will drill pod
Blowing them apart.
at an appropriate time.
Scorpion tank reporting.
Unit ready.
We will blow Scorpion. Order taking position.
Tech does seem not great against Grens, but, you know, Grens are terrible, so it doesn't really matter if the deck is bad versus them.
Unit offline.
Okay, well, yeah.
Missile
Grens
launch.
suck.
base destroyed.
Okay, Tim. This map I'm definitely going to rifles first against Nod because my deck is actually real bad against a bike rush. Well, not real bad.
Harvester ready.
Alright, it's still opening rifles and lasers, it's not the worst. Let's go for a block.
Unit ready.
He blocks us off from the block, makes sense. I'm just gonna ignore this. Put the rifle up here.
Unit offline.
Alright, looks like we're fighting over the top. I have a massive advantage massive defensive advantage up here, so this shouldn't be a problem. The rifles will do surprising work against the harvester if they're ignored. There's a chuggy. Let's get the scorpion tank out and send in the low hit point rifles to die.
Unit offline. Unit ready.
And the buggy up.
Sting in the tail. Sting in the tail. We will not yield.
And this tank can finish off this guy as well. Wow, we're just really far ahead now. Might even go kill the harvester or Giga Cannon. Undefended Giga Cannon. Oh, I can't really get it too fast. Maybe that's the nerf that Giga Cannon should get, just movement speed.
Unit ready.
Like maybe if a Giga Cannon is running away from you, it shouldn't actually escape, because it's real slow. I just surrender to the shade. That seems reasonable, given that there's a shade coming out. Alright, GG! Oh yeah, the infantry damage needs to be nerfed as well. I think speed and infantry damage would be good nerfs to Giga Cannon. Maybe just infantry damage is all that's needed.
Unit ready.
So, okay, flame it opening. The problem with this matchup is that we know he's gonna go Giga Cannon against our buggy. I really want to stall if possible. We have to go buggy against the flamers, but then we know he's gonna make a Giga Cannon at some point, and we can't beat it without our air tower.
Unit offline.
Saving for the Giga right now.
Unit ready.
Double buggy will beat bikes very comfortably. Oh wow, just killed my guy in one shot. So. Alright, well no Giga Cannon yet, so I guess we win this out. That's pretty decent. Probably because he spent so much on flamers. This is the issue with opening with your barracks against militants with a laser start. You get wrecked by the tech switch. You spend all your money on flamers to beat the militants at the start, and then you can't fight the tech switch.
Unit offline.
Fighters, arm up.
We will not yield.
Militia here.
Unit offline.
So I'm saving money for a shade here. Yeah.
Building online.
Obviously gonna need a shade at this point. Boosted lasers. Caught between Scorpion and Shade. The proverbial rock and hard place.
Unit ready.
Okay, we'll just lock down this pad and win the game. I don't care about the Scorpion. There it is! GG! GG! 10-0 with the weird ladder deck. The tank decks. I think that if you're going to play Scorpion deck, you probably just want to play Flamer instead of Buggy. But I wanted to try something a little bit different. This deck is okay. It's clearly got some weaknesses. We didn't play against any drone swarms either, which is like another thing where you're not really that happy with Buggy against drone swarm. You really want bikes because Buggy takes too long to kill them. The only person with we play against 2 Talons, but I don't really remember MJJ making a Talon because his Grens were so expensive. He never made it to his air tower. And what was the other Talon we played against? Powerflagon, but we were playing GDI, so it wasn't a problem. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I will see you all next time.